Good morning. At the end of the previous session, we looked at the paraphrase of the essay The Man in Black by Oliver Goldsmith. Today, let us try to analyze the essay. Oliver Goldsmith attacks the socio-political situations of England through this satirical piece, meaning The Man in Black. The essay commences by Oliver stating that if he admired someone, it was the man in black. He states the reason why he admired him. The characteristics of the man in black are shown as genial, kind, and sympathetic. On the contrary, he exhibited the characteristics as stern, curt, unkind, and rude. During that time, the essay states that man was prevailed to be stern, chauvinistic, macho, or masculine. In the family, the patriarchy was politically and socially acceptable and was encouraged. The man was considered to be dignified and prestigious, and society encouraged them to be dominant. Therefore, through this essay, Oliver discourages the thought of being what you are not. It is a mockery of the then contemporary society. He attacks the social and political situation that dominated during Anglo-Saxon period in England. Oliver gives us reason for his admiration. It is that man in black appearing as something that he is in fact not. The writer describes the man in black as a kind, sympathetic, and genial person with a compassionate heart. Outwardly, he seems unkind, looking like a rude, curt, and stern person. This is the contrast with his inner personality. In those days, the English society considered the male population to be aggressive, manly, stern, and chauvinistic. The dominance of males by their ultra-masculine nature in the family is encouraged and accepted socially and politically. Goldsmith discourages these stereotype aspects of male dominance in this essay. He mocks the way the society and politics of that time regarded male authority as prestigious and dignified. He wants to suggest that the trend of being what you are not should not be encouraged. The analysis of the essay, The Man in Black. The asset of the character essay is that it can delineate many personality weaknesses in the character of a single person and may thus satirize a wide range of human frailties. Frailties means weaknesses. Delineate means to describe something in detail. To continue, this sort of caricature of exaggerating satirically a character's faults allows the artist to be specific in his denunciations while not pointing to a definite person or sect of persons and thus risking the charge of slander. Slander means to abuse somebody or call somebody by bad names. Goldsmith was aware of these assets and engaged them when he created his cast of characters for the Citizen papers. The Man in Black. One of the most memorable characters of the Citizen papers is the Man in Black, who is often associated with his creator Goldsmith. Perhaps one reason for his appreciation is that his frailties make him seem very human. Hopkins mentions that the fact that the man in black has often been associated with the Vicar of Wakefield for his belief in universal benevolence. As Hopkins observes, the description of the man in black's father is more akin to the vicar than is that of the man in black himself. Hopkins sees Goldsmith's portrayal of the man in black as a satire on universal benevolence and on the innate goodness of man as described by Shaftesbury disciple Francis Hutchinson. The three beggars whom the man in black meets, Hopkins sees as impostors and cites instances in 18th century magazines. The man in black, unlike the vicar, constantly decries the principle of benevolence. In the essay, he and Eltangi meet three beggars. Eltangi would be the narrator. The first is a wretch who sells matches. The second is a soldier with a peg leg. And the third is a woman with children. In the first case, the man in black gives to the poor wretch a shilling, much more than the worth of the matches. The soldier receives a piece of silver, again a sizable donation. And the woman, the last whom they meet, is given the matches purchased for a shilling, the man in black now having nothing except the matches. In each case, the man in black berates benevolence, that is, he criticizes benevolence or expresses his disapproval for people who show their benevolence or generosity towards others, and tries to hide his charity from the narrator. Hopkins sees the narrator's approach as the rational one. The narrator states that he, being prepossessed against such falsehoods, the first beggar's story had not the least influence upon me. These are words from the text. The man in black, however, is moved enough to give a shilling. The narrator is a man guided by reason. As his character is pictured, he is seldom swayed by his passions. It is notable that this fact is the flaw in the philosopher's character. Goldsmith draws two characters, each of whom is an extreme opposite. The man in black is clearly guided by his passion rather than his reason, while Eltangi, that is the narrator, is moved only by reason and not the passions. Passions could be understood as emotions or feelings or sentiments. Each violates the golden rules. Therefore, not only the man in black but also the narrator, Eltangi, is a target of satire in these essays. It seems quite possible with such an interpretation that the man in black's approach to life receives less condemnation, meaning criticism. While he is victimized by his own charity, he harms only himself and not others. In each of the anecdotes, meaning short stories or incidents, which he relates, the characters of his social circle relate that he, to quote from the text, seemed to be very good-natured and had no harm, unquote, in him. The crowning irony of this situation appears to be that in order to exist in London society, it was necessary to be cold and avaricious, calculating and rational, characteristics which could be associated more with the narrator that is Altangi, than with the man in black. The implication of this essay seems to undercut the more obvious denunciation of the universal benevolence of the man in black. He, that is the man in black, learned to exercise prudence and calculation in order to live in an unfeeling society. The man in black, while he has the ostensible purpose of serving Altangi as a guide, that is, the narrator is served as a guide, he represents an ideal ethic universal benevolence, but it is an impractical ideal in a gross materialistic world. The irony of the situation is that the man in black must violate his human compassion to be accepted in a world where manipulation and deception are codes of the day. With this, we finish looking at the essay The Man in Black by Oliver Goldsmith. Thank you.